Stagnation kills things.
Yeah.
Because my greatest asset is time. So the longer I sit on a decision, the less time I have. All I know how to do is work hard. I don't know anything else. I can't sit still. All our competitors, their buildings are wiped out. They have no office. So we put our life savings into the bank account. There is no option B. I may have just lost my life savings.
Awesome, guys. Well, welcome to Think Differently, where we take real estate, faith, family, just anything Bay County related and flip it on its head and think about it a little bit differently. Today, you've probably heard of this branding, one of the best local real estate companies out there. But today we want to dive into a little bit different. Who is the man behind Think Real Estate? So today, Zack Sanchez is who we have on the podcast. Zack, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Just give me a little bit of background, who you are, what Think is, and what it means to you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I'm Zack Sanchez. I got a beautiful wife named Olivia. We got 3 wonderful kids, John Crosby, Violet, and Vivian. 33 right now, turned 34 in a couple weeks, I guess, or a month or something.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. I feel old. You know, my journey started long ago of, anytime when I was younger, I'd always ask people like, what sets you apart?
Yeah, what got you there?
And real estate was the number one thing every time. That was the common denominator every time I did that. And so I just started investing in real estate. And we'll talk about it more, but then, I got into banking, I got into insurance, and then I got it here. And what we are today is not what I had planned on it being, but here we are nonetheless, and we're super stoked about it.
Nice. Now you're born and raised local here, correct?
Yeah, born and raised, don't know nothing else, don't want to know nothing else.
Yeah. So you went to school FSU?
Yeah, FSU-PC.
Okay.
So I went to Mosley High School.
Gotcha.
I went to Gulf Coast State College and then FSU-PC.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I never even left.
Nice.
Not even for college.
That's awesome. I feel like it's harder to meet more and more people that are just born and raised here.
Yeah, no,
everybody
for sure.
I meet on a daily basis is military or their parents brought them here.
I was at the gym yesterday and at the sauna, there was 4 other people and they were all people who just moved here in the past 6 months, which I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, I feel like, and we'll get into this a little bit more in a little bit, but I feel like the market's definitely picking up and we're seeing more and more people coming here. Mm-hmm. Mainly, there's a lot of military, obviously. We're revolving door for that. But Zack, I've heard of several different stories, right?
Okay.
I want to know what's true, what's rumor.
Yeah.
Take me back to when you were young, growing up in Panama City. When did you first fall in love with real estate? I've heard a rumor that there was this whole deal where when you were 16, you got and flipped the house, or your parents offered to buy you a car house.
Okay.
Just walk me through that. Yeah. Take me back. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, I've always had a passion for making money. That's something that I've always, since I was little, like I'd take a candy bar, buy it for 50 cents and sell it to somebody else for $1, But, so my parents own a restaurant business.
Okay.
And so when I was 12 years old, I would bus tables, host tables. And what was great about that, it made me learn how to talk to people. So I was telling you before, I would get to meet all these people. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the common thing they would ask me, because always the question is, I'd ask you, hey, Sam, you seem like a really successful guy. Can you tell me something that's really set you apart financially? And a lot of times real estate was the common denominator they had in their investment portfolio. And so I said, okay, I think I'm gonna go down this route. So somebody recommended the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which if you've never read it before, you got to read it. And so I read this book, and it got me on this journey of real estate. So fast forward, I'm saving up all my money, working in the restaurant, taking my tips money, saving it. And when I turned 15, my dad's not anybody super rich, doesn't have any real estate besides his own house. And, I want a convertible Mustang as my car from 16. I've been dreaming of this car, and I think it's the coolest car on the road. And if you have one, you're the coolest person out there. I'm like, man, I really want this car. I'm in high school. I'm a male. 15, about to be 16. And so my dad says, hey, son, like whatever you take, I'll match it. So if you have 10 grand, I'll match it. And so this time a brand new Mustang is $30,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, so you're coming up, I'll take my 15 grand and then you match your 15 grand and then we'll buy this car. That was kind of the rule and everything in our house. If it wasn't a need, the parents would always split it. You'd have to pay for half of it. So I'm thinking about it, and one day he goes, hey, or what we could do is you could take that $15,000 and you can put a down payment on a vacant lot that was $27,000. He'll owner finance the difference, and I'll split the payment with you.
Okay, so you're coming out a little bit better.
So he's like, hey, the payment was $340 a month. So he said, I'll pay $170. You pay $170. $170 sounds like nothing today, but I remember I'm a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Right.
$170 sounds like $1,700.
Exactly. Like to me, like that's it's like my first monthly obligation.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going into debt at 15. And so he said, I think if you do that, he said later on, when we pay it off, we'll build a house on it. And then he said, when you graduate high school, I'll buy you a car, but it has to be like a Camry or Honda Accord, like something
Not
very logical, not a convertible Mustang.
Yeah.
You know? So you can imagine how I'm struggling as a 15-year-old, like this decision of like, wow, like what do I do? And you know, growing up, I've always learned that if you heed your father and mother's advice, that you'll be blessed because of that. So I said, all right, Dad. I said, I'll do what you think is best, but don't be wrong. And he wasn't wrong. But so we buy this piece of land. Fast forward, I'm 17, graduating high school. I get a white Toyota Camry, and then when I'm 18, we start building on a house from scratch on it. And so I built that. Took me about a year and a half to build it because I did a lot of the work myself.
Okay.
And then about 4 years ago, I sold it.
Okay.
And so
4 years ago from today, or 4 years from
4
18?
years from today. Yeah.
Nice.
About 4 years.
What was the return on that?
So you know, it's funny. I bought the land for $27,000. I built it for $90,000, and I sold it for $200,000. And I rented it out. So if 4 years, so if I was 18, 4 years ago, so probably about 10 years, and I rented it out for $2,000 a month for 10 years. So 24, 240. So it more than paid for itself. So if I paid $240, call it $200. So I probably made $150,000. That decision probably made $150,000. But that's over a span. But the real thing is it taught me how to make action.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like pull the trigger on something. And that taught me how to learn how to build a house because I built it all myself. So I learned how to wire the house. I learned how to plumb the house.
Yeah.
So now fast forward today, when I walk into a house.
Yeah, you can look through that kind of stuff.
I'm not an expert. I don't do it every day, but I can tell you what's wrong if it's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And so that just kind of started the journey, and I bought and sold from there.
Yeah. And then you went college, banking, insurance, back to real estate?
So when I was in when I went to Gulf Coast State College, and I went to FSU PC, and there was and I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just wanted to make money. That was my sole focus. And one of my professors, Dr. Gary Bliss, he really took a liking to me, and he was a great guy. And I said, hey, I walked in his office one day, and I said, hey, what do you think I should do? Like, what career field should I go in? He goes, well, I was in banking, so I think you should go in banking. And I'm one of those that if I respect you and think the world of you, give me advice, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to run with it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I went and applied for some positions with some banks, and I became a teller for 3 months. I got a job as a teller, and then in 3 months, they promoted me to loan officer. And I was a loan officer for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And that's where I learned how to underwrite loans and how an underwriter looks at loans, which really helped me learn how to analyze credit for lending, because lending is a big job, what we do today. Yeah. But it helped me understand to do those. And I got my MLO license, so I did mortgages. And
so I can kind of already see this taking shape a little bit of where you're getting all this background before you're really, feet in the water type thing.
And so I do banking, and after a year and a half, banking is great, but it's a very corporate ladder. It's a very long-term game. And I'm sitting there in my branch, and I'm looking at how long it would take me to make the money that I want to make. I looked at my boss, and I said, hey, man, I really appreciate this time here, but I just don't think this place is for me.
Yeah.
And my boss was phenomenal. And he was great, and the company was great. Love him dearly. I just realized it wasn't for me.
Right.
So me being 19 years old, just go to the break room, and I just go on Indeed.com or something like that and just start hitting apply for jobs.
Yeah.
So one of them's State Farm. I have no idea about insurance at the time. I have no idea what even State Farm does and all that jazz. And so I apply, and the money's almost double. Like if I put the same effort in, it was double. So I was like, well, it's a no-brainer. I'll just try it out, right? I'm single.
Yeah.
I do that. I start doing sales cold call for auto insurance and home insurance. So I'd be dialing 100 phone calls a day. That was my sole job, just dial 100 phone calls and just burn up the phones. And then after a couple of years being successful at that, then as life insurance is what we mainly did. And then my boss had 2 offices. So then I became the office manager of it for 2 offices.
Gotcha.
All along this whole time, I'm flipping houses and building rental houses. And then kind of what happened is I was making enough more money in real estate than I was in insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it kind of birthed, where I met Cody and we were like, well, hey, I was like, well, why don't I get my broker's license and let me just cut out the middleman, because I don't need that. Because in my mind, all I'm doing is trying to find deals, sell it. I'm not trying to buy and sell for customers.
Right.
You know? So then I was like, well, you can come work for me and you can save money. And so it was simply a save money. And what I was supposed to do was not be a broker today for a brokerage. It was supposed to be to just buy and sell my own product.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And here we are today.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've kind of already seen, because this whole podcast is to try to give an idea of the man behind Think, right?
Yeah.
Because I think especially with Cody and you starting out, y'all built such a beautiful brand, to be honest, if I can compliment you on that. It's been, being a new member on the team here, just coming in, I really respected the way that you see Think everywhere. You're driving over the bridge, you're driving over the Bailey Bridge, Hathaway, beachside. You always see Think. Even if there's no word beside it, if you see that logo, you instantly know who it is. So I think that was one reason I kind of wanted to talk to you today and just kind of figure out how that was built. I wanted to circle back to something that you said about your parents. And I think a lot of us have learned it either through a harder way than that, or we've had that father figure or that mother figure who told us this in our life. One common denominator I saw was you put the Mustang on hold, right? Twice. Instead of saying, no, Dad, I want the house. And then once you got the house, then you went Camry, you want something. Do you think delaying that instant gratification, if you will, is a very big part? I think that maybe even some of the younger people might need to see a little bit.
Great question. I'm very big on setting a goal before you reward yourself. And so to that point of delayed gratification. So I'll never forget this. So one of the greatest, my parents did a lot of great lessons to me, but one of the big things they did for me was every time you had to purchase something that wasn't a need, you had to pay half.
Okay.
So the Xbox came out and I'm like 8 years old, right? Or 10, I don't know, however old. It's $200. Well, the only way I can get it is if I save up $100.
Yeah.
So what it did was it made me go find work and learn how to save the money.
Built that work ethic,
Okay. I take this $100 and $100 to however old I was, 8, 10 years old, I don't know the time. That's a lot of money, right? Okay. And so I spend this money, I go buy this Xbox, I get my 5 games. I play it hardcore for 2 weeks. I never touch it again. And I realize in life, most of the things the tangible things that we buy do not have as much gratification as we think they do if it's not disposable income.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think one of the big things is figuring out like, hey, the Mustang would have been cool for a year or two, right? Yeah. It would have been cool in high school for that brief moment of time.
Yeah.
This house paid dividends where I sold it. I was able to buy a business and do so much more that has given me gratification for years to come. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, 100%.
And so that's the thing that we're so nearsighted as people, as humans.
Yeah.
And then I think with 10 times, but I'm all about rewarding yourself.
Right.
But don't let it be the first thing you do. Set a goal that's attainable before you're going to do that.
Yeah. And I think almost on the extreme side of that too, I hear some people in real estate, very successful people. And I kind of want to run this past you and then we'll jump into a little bit of backstory about Think and you and Cody and different stuff. Some people go, jump into real estate, don't take any days off for the first 3 years. Yeah. Because then you'll be 9, 10, 11 years ahead of anybody that started at the same time. How do you balance, and this is later on the podcast, how do you balance life and, kids, husband, all that with being, running a brokerage?
Yeah. So, the big thing is you got to figure out where you're at in your career and how old your kids are. And it's going to be different for everybody.
It's going to be different.
It's going to be different for everybody. I was fortunate enough when we opened, we didn't have any kids yet.
Right.
And then, as we had it grow we had a baby, but as you kind of know, like the first 6 months, that's a big deal for the mother and their sleep, but it's not like you got to go take them to school, take them to
dance, take them
all the things, right? And so I knew personally that I had to bust it.
Yeah.
because I only had a limited time window. Even where I'm at today, I recognize that my time will be even more limited as my kids get older and I got to go to cheerleader practice every day.
Yeah.
Right? I show houses at 5 o'clock last night. Well, here soon, I won't have that ability if I want to be able to take my kids to those things.
Right.
And so I say you got to figure out where's that fine balance for you and what's that goal. And maybe you might have to sacrifice it for 2 years, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a decision you're going to have to make for you because I don't know what age your kids are, where your wife's at, and all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But 2 is you need to find the sweet spot of time where what I've learned is my kids wake up, and so at 6 a.m. So from that until the time they go to school, I get an hour and a half to be with them. Right now we're getting ready, cooking. But I try my best to be there, present, cook, talk to them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they're at school, and I can't be home till 5, till after work. Well, then I got that window from 5 to 7 between they're going to bed, and I'm gonna try my best to be there and be really present for those.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
And now I'll go show a house for 2 hours Saturday, but my parents will come over. They'll get time with the grandparents, and then I'll make sure we can go do something really fun that afternoon or something.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got to learn to kind of find a way to win.
Yeah.
Does that make
100%.
sense?
Yeah. This year's motto, man.
And that's really where you got to figure it out. It's going to be fluid where some days you'll be busy. And when you're busy, you're going to work a lot. And when you're slow, spend time with your family,
100%. When you're busy, be busy. When you're not,
slow,
take advantage of it.
Yeah, take advantage of it. It's just, that's the real estate. When it's busy, it's busy. When it's slow, it's slow.
Yeah, 100%. With, we've already touched on it briefly, but with Cody being a part of the team and you and him starting out, you said you really went brokerage just for cutting out middleman and kind of necessity. Take me back to building Think. One of the questions I've always wanted to ask you is why, how did you come up with Think in general? I feel like the media side of me and that, that entrepreneurial side, I kind of understood it really instantly. But 2 questions: how did you come up with Think? And then the other part was, when you were building Think, was there a toughest moment? Like, this might not actually work.
So 1, let me take you back to, remember, we're just trying to cut out the middleman here. Okay.
Yeah.
Our first name was going to be Reliance Realty.
Reliance Realty.
All right. And so the thought process was the name was going to be, we're fully reliant upon God.
Okay. I like that.
And our color was going to be red because red's the most popular color.
Yeah.
Sticks out, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we go with. And you got to remember, my brain is not I'm not a creative brain type.
Gotcha.
By nature, and especially at this time, because it's not what I do at all.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I'm selling insurance, so creative is not what I do.
Yeah.
So I tell Cody, I say, hey, that whole department's yours. So whatever you say, I'm here to back.
I'm going to go with it. Yeah.
We go with it. We form the LLC. We do all the things, and he's just like, man, I don't think that's it, man. I just, there's something about it. I'm not feeling that name. I'm not feeling that color. I said, hey man, I trust you. Whatever you say the name is, as long as it's not offensive, I'm rolling with it. I was like, so he's like, hey man, I feel like it's got to be 1 syllable, and it's got to be a 1-syllable action verb.
Gotcha.
And so he starts going down. He goes to Google, types in 1-syllable action verb. And in case you're wondering, all verbs are action. So that's the funny part. But so he's going down the list, and he sees Think. Well, he had been branding himself on social media. When you think real estate, think B. Cody Shields. So it sounds cliche today because it's what you've been programmed to think right now, right?
Yeah.
But back then, nobody was doing that, and that's what. So he's, when you think real estate, think B. Cody Shields. So he sees, he goes, think. He's like, think real estate. He's like, I want to be like Zillow, Rocket Mortgage, Starbucks. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Just the instant.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's not that old school. There's nothing wrong with that old school, like
4 different words.
But hey, we want to be this. And so then he goes, I don't want to be red. He goes, I want to be the color green that's on the iPhone on the phone section. So if you go pull up your iPhone,
like the battery power,
like the back, okay. Exactly, that green color.
Gotcha.
So he's like, I want to see. He's like, I'm thinking Starbucks. I'm thinking Regions. He says, I'm thinking of all these brands that have a really good, strong presence because we got companies that are like Keller Williams is red.
Yeah.
So 21's yellow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we're like, hey, how do we set ourselves apart?
Right.
And green was that color.
Nice.
And so he's the one who gets credit for all that green and the name. It's total credit to him. Nothing to do with me.
Nice. And it ties back perfectly to who you are. You said, if I trust you completely, I'm just rolling with it. So
that's right.
When did you decide to start bringing people on and really run with the brokerage? And circling back, was there that toughest moment of like, hey, we might have to go back to insurance, or did the Lord just bless and you just kept on going?
So I'll say this: I'm one of those that if you believe that God has purposed you for something and you're in His will that day,
yeah,
there is no option B. To me, I don't even like to acknowledge it.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is as we're going forward with this, I remember at State Farm, you gotta remember I get paid on the 1st and the 15th every month.
Yeah.
And I wasn't worried about it one bit until my last 2 weeks and I realized my last paycheck's about to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And only that's the only time I had a little bit of worry in the beginning. Like I just had like that. There's a little bit and I got over it. So we put our life savings into the bank account. We're doing our thing and it just starts working. Some stuff starts working out. Okay. And as we're going through it, it's honestly, it's an entire God thing because we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
One bit. I'm just being real with you. And so as we're going through it, people just start coming up to us saying that they want to join us. And it wasn't even like we were going after like recruiting. Up until about a year ago, we've never recruited anybody. I mean, if you called us and you said you want to be, we're going to follow up with you.
Yeah.
We've never actively seek people.
Yeah.
You know? And so we had people come on board that God just brought into our life. And it's funny looking back is, I was telling the team, it's like, what's stopping people from just walking in our door? That seems crazy for agents just to walk in our door. But I'm going to tell you, 2019, people just walked to the door and said, hey, I want to be a part of, I got my real estate license. I want to be a part of Thinking Real Estate.
Yeah.
Corey Brown did that. Dean Tran did that. Josh Hoey. Some of the top agents you see today simply were unlicensed people that said, I got my license. I'm in a totally different career field. And I don't know what, but somebody recommended I come here and here we are today. Yeah. And so is God's had his hand in that entire moment. Yeah. But if I look back at probably the two hardest moments here, where is you got to think we opened in August, okay? We put $100,000 in the bank account, spent 75 of it in the first 60 days getting up and running. Okay, so we're at 25,000. October 10th hits and Hurricane Michael hits. All right. And you got to think, I watched my truck get demolished. Yeah. I watched everything around us and we've never been through this before. Yeah. And so to me, as I go, well, what can I sell? There's nothing to sell. Yeah. Right? Like our entire business is
under trees.
Like we're going to go under. Like we don't have enough to sustain ourselves. Yeah. And so thankfully is when we first opened up, we both lived in town and we both were I'd call us town people, not beach people. But something told us that, hey, we need to get an office in Panama City Beach. And so me and Cody, we just prayed about it. And I said, hey man, I don't know what it is, but God just said, we just need to go to the beach and have a beach office. Well, we have no business really being at the beach. So there's a guy named Wade Reinhardt that goes to Cody's church. And he said, hey man, I got this great spot. So we don't know any better. We're like, oh, this is cool. We'll make this work.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. So we make this office work. Well, I think about 5 days in after the storm, after Hurricane Michael, I haven't talked to Cody, I haven't seen him. And I'm in the country club heading to a family member's house to go check on it. And I see Cody on the side of the road. And so we're talking and we're kind of like, dude, what are we going to do? And we both look at each other and go, we don't know, but we're going to figure it out. Yeah. Like if we got to go grind stumps, because at the time you're getting cut trees, right? We'll go grind stumps until we can make this work. Yeah. Right. And so then I'm like, hey, let me go to the beach office and check on the beach office. Because at this time I didn't recognize that the hurricane had stopped at the Hathaway Bridge, basically. Right. Yeah. Me and my wife go to the beach office and I walk in and I go, who the heck left the lights on and the AC on? And you gotta remember, we're living in a world with no power, no nothing, right? Yeah. And I'm over here like thinking electricity bill. Yeah. So that's where my brain goes.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't need to be spending money right now.
And my wife, Olivia, goes, no, babe, we have power and AC here. I was like, oh, wow, this is great. Because you got to think we don't have working toilets. Yeah. Right, at the house. And so we get in there like, oh, wow, we're untouched. Like our office is completely normal and untouched. Yeah. And so what happens is we realize later on, like, wow, what's the most important thing right now? Housing. And then second is all our competitors, their buildings are wiped out. They have no office. So we have an office. We're ready to go. And so we were set, ready to go when there was the largest need. And you got to think, and then Cody and I didn't have any kids, or we were married, or I was dating, and when he was married, his house got wiped, so he could just move somewhere because they have no kids, and then me, I'm living in a small little place, it's untouched, so we're not worried about rebuilding our own homes, not worried about our family, like we're good, so we get to take off in this race faster than anybody else.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's what really kind of, there was that brief moment in that window of emergency where it's like, I may have just lost my life savings. Yeah. Because I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
And that was probably the first one. And then the next one is you build, you pour your blood, sweat, and tears. And then, you help agents become successful. And the reality is we don't get paid what we invest in an agent day 1, day 2, day 30, year 1. We don't get paid for until year 4, year 5. Does that make sense? It's all front loaded. And until you pour your heart and soul, they become your friends and all these things. And they come to you and tell you that they're going to leave and go to another broker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is normal. Okay. It's going to happen. So we have our first one leave and we just think, wow,
that hurt.
And that's going to put us under. Like, how are we going to recover? Because it's an unknown, right? And so that was probably those 2 moments were the ones where we were just like, ugh.
Yeah, gut punch kind of.
But now you realize, like, and it's kind of like, the people who've been in business for 30, 40 years, how they're never worried about anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what? We've been through this.
Nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new. And you know what? The Lord, and I always refer to, like, the Lord brought us through when we had nothing.
Yeah.
We got a lot more than nothing now.
Yeah.
So he's going to take us right through. And so while the worry does come in, right, it's a natural thing to come into our body and think, is I'm slowly reminded that, like, or I have a peace. Like, I don't ever think we're ever going to go under. Or go we're going to find a way to win.
Oh, for sure.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I feel like I've seen that even before, you launched this motto in the beginning of 2026 was even in the marketing, like no matter what. And every time I ask a broker, I ask a real estate agent, I look for the answer of, everybody loves, before they ask how you are, they ask, how's the market, right? How's the rates? How's it? I think that's the number one question as a realtor. Yeah. It's like, how's this? And I instantly picked up on, before I was even licensed, I picked up on the top % agents. They never answered, oh, it's slow, or, oh, it's bad. They said, it's great. Somebody's buying, somebody's selling.
Yeah.
No matter what, they all had that kind of just like, it's good, it'll work out. And then with Think, so many of us, have that relationship with Christ and we rest in that. And it's like, I see that, every day in you and Corey and other people around here. It's just, hey, we'll be good.
We're all figuring it out.
Like, yeah. The other question that I wanted to ask you, man, is building this brand, you've branched into several different companies and we won't, dive into all those or anything. What's the main driving force for you? Do you think it's just the way God built you and you just think, hey, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, like this is just it's who I am, I can't shut it off? Or did anything play in with, because I know your parents are from Puerto Rico, correct? Mm-hmm. A lot of the people that I met that their parents were either immigrants or, they're first. I feel like there's a common denominator with that drive in those people that I meet. Not to say that people born and raised here can't, but I feel like there's a little bit of common denominator. Do you feel like that's the case with you, or?
Yeah, so, I was talking to somebody like about this yesterday, because our kids, and I'm talking to my best friend, we live in the same neighborhood. Our kids are used to eating filet mignon on a Friday night. Okay, growing up, you went out to eat one time a year, and it was Golden Corral. Yeah, and you had to drink water. Yeah, my kids drink Sprite every day. Yeah, okay. And so what I realized is growing up, I never lacked for food. I never lacked for shelter. I never lacked for anything. Okay. Yeah. But most of all my clothes were hand-me-down clothes. Right. Yeah. And I didn't get to experience nice things. Like I always make the joke, like growing up, Captain Anderson's to me was the fine dining restaurant of all of Bay County. And you only ate there if you were really rich. Yeah. Yeah. And because that's just all I knew. And I didn't go there till I was like 21, 22 and started dating my wife. Yeah. And as I go there, I recognize that it's not because you're rich, but it is a nice place, right? Like not everybody can afford these things. Right. Right. And so as I say that is I think the biggest thing is my parents moving here, maybe if it's for other people's stories, is you had no choice but to work all the time. work 2 jobs, work 3 jobs to make it work. Because you got to imagine you're coming here with little money and you don't know the language.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have kids.
Yeah.
And so you're forced to do things and work hard and save and these things. And what you don't realize is subconsciously, those things are instilling things in you and your kids.
Yeah.
And so what happened is, you know, my parents, the main thing they wanted to know is like, hey, my kids know the Lord and they have the best work ethic you could ever. And you could ask anybody, any one of my siblings, they'll tell you that we're the hardest working people they've ever met. All I know how to do is work hard.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I can't sit still. Saturday, and I like to wind down I like to sip coffee and hang out for about 4 hours. Then I put on my clothes and I got to start doing something.
Yeah.
I can't sit still. I enjoy work. It's it's because it's all
it's all you've ever known.
Yeah. All I've ever known. And then 2 is I'm not saying I went without, but I'm always chasing that. Well, I've never had handy-down. I always had handy-down clothes. So you know why I like to wear Hermes and Louis Vuitton? Well, I never had the chance to wear nice brands growing up. Whether it was just even a Nike shirt. It was a handy-down Nike shirt. I didn't get to go pick one out off the rack.
Yeah.
And so today I'm like, hey, this is my reward. I get to do the things I never got to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing is like, hey, but I went without. And so I appreciate it a lot more than most. I think if you've been without, you appreciate it more, right?
100%. Yeah.
It's just the way it works. And then 2 is I just grew up working all the time where that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
it's not like I'm like, man, I got to go to work today.
Yeah. No.
No matter what it is, I enjoy building.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I'm one of 8 kids. So I'm 7th in line. My dad worked at the same shipyard. He was an architectural engineer for the DOD for 47 years straight. Drove an hour one way to work.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I saw this work ethic, and I think mentally it just kind of built me like that's what a man's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? That's what women and men and people who are providing, that's what they're supposed to do. But I resonate so much with the hand-me-downs. Right, 7th in line, never got anything new.
I think 7. Yeah. So you probably never had grown up.
Yeah, dude. We ate out once a week. If my mom was like, yeah, we're good. Because I remember there was times, and if mom and dad ever see this, I don't want you to feel bad. Great childhood. But there was times where we'd be riding to church and I would see my dad look at my mom and be like, hey, do you want to eat out today? And they would have this quiet discussion of like finances. And I think subconsciously that built me to be like, I don't want to ever have my kids have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Right. And, eating out once a week, never getting soda, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like if we got the soda, it was those like knockoff 25-cent drinks. We were waiting outside Walmart because my mom wouldn't take all of us into Walmart. We'd be like setting out front in the old drink machines and stuff. And I think a little bit of that is like I love work. I love building and I love providing for my family. Like I love being able to, on my days off, take my kids to go do something fun.
Yeah.
And something you said kind of reminded me of a saying. There's a saying where it's like, hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men create hard times. So it's just kind of this big loop. And I think a little bit for me, always seeing my generation, like my granddad working hard was set up pretty well. He had like 6 boys and then they had families, large families. And then it's like, I feel like I'm somewhere in that loop where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to create a really good life for my family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, I see that in you. You're always here, man. You're always working, you're always hustling. And I love that. Looking a little bit at, kind of where the market is now going into 2026, obviously we see things heating up. If you had buyers right now on the fence, I'm sure you do. If anybody's seeing this and you are thinking about, hey, I'm not really sure what, if I want to buy, if I don't want to buy, what would all Bay County's watching this and they're on the fence, what would you want to tell them from think like, hey, here's the time, here's not the time to buy, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll be saying, if you ever go look at my social media, I'm not always going to tell you that it's a great time to buy, it's a great time to sell.
Yeah.
That is not my motto.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years, if I've had a buyer, I'll say, hey, let's really think this through of what you want to do. Don't buy just to buy. Like, if you're going to buy, make sure you're going to be here for a while. Right. Or you have to have a need.
Don't buy just because your friends are. Because I've seen that.
Because people do what other people do.
Right.
People do not like to be trailblazers.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
And so as I looked at the market the past few years, it was cheaper to rent than it was to buy.
Yeah.
You could rent a house for $2,000 and the mortgage was $2,800.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, unless you're going to be here for 7 years and you got dogs and you want to paint and do all the things you can as a renter, don't buy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the right time for you to buy. It's cheaper to rent.
Yeah.
And so now if you have to, let's do that. But so I would tell you this now is we've gone through for the past few years rates settling in of what they are, right? We got up to in the sevens, mid sevens, almost 2 and 8, right? For the past few years. You're coming off a COVID high.
Yeah.
And we kind of seeing what happened with the presidency and the economy. And I think now we're already seeing it is that we now know the norm of the market. We don't think it's going to get any worse. Right. We don't think the economy is going to get any worse. The Dow Jones is at 49,000 right now, right?
Yeah.
So we don't think anything's going to get terrible, and rates are either staying put or decreasing, but they're, locking in around 6 versus you were locking 2 years ago around 7. So we know that there's been optimism there. And so I think what's happening now is, because I've seen it in our office, you can look at activity. This has been the busiest January we've seen since COVID. And the reality is the market heats up from March to October. And I always tell people this. In Bay County, if you like it, somebody else likes it.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to pull the trigger, somebody else is ready to pull the trigger. So you always want to be ahead. And I was preaching this Q4 because Q4 was a little slow. I said, hey, if you're a buyer, now's your time to get money off on a house. And I don't mean 20% off. I mean 5 to 10% off.
Yeah.
If it's a $500,000 house, I think you can get it for $50,000 less than what you would here the next quarter. And the reason being is because you have these listings sitting on the market for 6 months, no activity. These sellers are like, I just want this off my plate.
Yeah, I want to go on.
Because there's some people who are sticklers on their price, and some people it's a mental thing. Like, hey, I just want this mortgage gone. Whether I make 50 or 20 is immaterial to me. I don't want to be paying 2 mortgages.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to here to January, is things are starting to heat up. And I'd tell you, it's just like I had a house in the market for 7 months that I was telling you about earlier, where it's been on the market for 7 months, no offers. And there's been, 2 buyers on the fence. One's been looking at it for over 30 days.
Yeah.
Another one's looked at it for a week. Well, one makes an offer last night. The other one makes an offer today. And the reality is had they made offers last week, they probably would have saved $10,000. But because now they're going to be in competing offers, they're going to end up paying for it.
Yeah.
And so I tell you, if you're on the fence right now, take action sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because the longer you wait, the more another offer is probably going to come in and drive the price up.
Yeah, 100%.
And so that'd be probably my biggest thing, because our market is so like military, and the people are looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
And so while there might be a lot of inventory, there's not a lot of good inventory.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I've seen firsthand in my life that, and we talked a little bit about this before the cameras were rolling, but analysis paralysis kills deals.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that one more time before the camera. Analysis paralysis kills deals. I lost out on a really good deal over on Carolina Avenue when I first moved here because I looked at it 3 times and I was trying to find something wrong with it. You know what I mean? You almost want to be like, it's too good of a deal. Like, and so we've seen it. There are good deals out there, and the chances are, if it's a good deal and you wait on it too long, it's going to be somebody else's.
One of the great things to help me make decisions, because my motto is less important what I decide, but that I do decide. Indecision kills things. Yeah. Stagnation kills things. Yeah. Because my greatest asset is time. So the longer I sit on a decision, the less time I have. Does that make sense? Yeah. So is anytime I'm looking at something or to make a decision, I look at it and go, all right, Zach, give yourself an end date to make a decision and what's going to change between now and then. So if I'm looking at a house today and I like it, but I just don't want to pull the trigger because, I'm going to give myself till Monday to make a decision. And what information could change that, right? Am I worried about my job? Me and my wife, because then you realize I can make a decision. I have all the information to make a decision. Nobody likes making decisions. Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah. I'm supposed to go to Vegas in March. I got the babysitter lined up. I got everything yet. I still haven't pulled the trigger yet because I don't know. I just don't want to make the decision right now. I don't know which one's the right thing to do. Yeah. And so finally I was like, today I'm making that decision. We're just going to either go or not go. Yeah. Yeah. But that's just who we are as humans.
Yeah. 100%. I think we take comfort in the fact of if we don't make a decision, it's not a bad decision.
No decision is a decision. No decision is a decision.
It is, yeah. And it's like I feel like a lot of people that I've talked to recently, they're starting to realize this. I think our generation is kind of starting to pick up on the fact that I grew up in a realm of we would use prayer for excuse. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, let me pray about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to give a timeline? Well, I don't want to put God on a timeline. I'm like, well, you came to me, you wanted to look at this property or whatever this is, and now you just want to pray about it. Like, I am all for praying, knowing what you need to be doing, but I'm like, let's not use that as an excuse, because I'm prime example of that. I used to do that really, really bad.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
The reality is that just your safeguard?
Exactly.
No, I'm just looking.
Yes.
Or you're actually waiting, you're digitally in prayer about this decision. And,
I called a buyer last night who we're showing a property, I think at like 3:30 today. And he wants to list his 10-acre farm that has 2 different houses on it. But he shoots me this property. He's like, I really want to look at this. And I was like, okay, cool. So I lined it up. So then I called him and I said, hey, so-and-so, I've got this lined up. And he goes, yeah. And I said, cool. I said, here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to love this property. I said, because you looked at the photos, your wife looked at the photos. They know us personally.
Yeah.
So, and I said, I love it. It's awesome. He said, I know it's gorgeous, exactly what you want. I said, but we're not even on the market with yours. So I kind of asked him, I said, what do we want to do with yours? Are we going to list and then go look? Or are we going to start looking and then we're going to be back? Because reality is somebody else loves it too and they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
But then you're going to feel distraught because we didn't even list and put you in a position to buy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think we're all on some spectrum. We all put ourselves in that analysis paralysis, or just, I'll think about it, or, we delay that. Sure. When you give yourself that timeline to make a decision, is it a day or is it an hour?
It depends on what it is. Like, how monumental is this decision? And what's the thing on there? Like, the reality is if I make a bad decision, if I make the wrong choice, how bad is it going to hurt me?
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
The repercussions.
Yeah. So like me in this Vegas trip, it's really time with my kids.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be out for 4 days, me and my wife. Well, that's 4 days without our kids. Well, in my brain, I'm like, well, how many other days this year am I going to do that? Because I'm really particular about how much time we spend with our kids.
100%.
Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. When you start looking at more on a personal level, but my buddy pointed out his daughter is like 13, and then he's breaking down by how many years he has left before she goes to college, right? Because once your kid's in college,
you're not seeing them again.
But then it got even a little bit more sentimental. We broke it down by how many summers you have with your kids, because he works a full-time job, really doesn't get to see his kids when they're out of school in summers.
Yeah.
You break it down, you've got like 18 summers with a kid from the time they're born.
Yeah.
And it's super, it kind of makes you lock in time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to jump into, before we hit our final questions that you have no clue what they are.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I let your secretary kind of look at them, so they're safe. Being a husband, a dad, a son, all of the things, how has being a dad and raising kids made you a better founder, owner, broker?
Yeah.
How's that, it kind of inspired your team building or running a team, really?
Well, before we go with dad, let's go with being a husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's how you make kids. But is that right there at the essence of, when you're a business owner, if I tell somebody what to do, it's their job to just go do, right?
Right.
But business is way more involved in that. As a manager, it's like, I have to be sensitive of how I say it, what's going on in their personal life.
Yeah.
And so you got to think, when we first opened, I'm 25 years old, I'm a single male, or I'm dating my, now wife, Lydia. But I don't have all those contexts of things to be sensitive to.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is being married teaches you how to work along with somebody and be sensitive to things, and recognize that even though I can tell you what to do or here's what we're doing, it's not that simple. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And I think one is being married teaches you that you're always on a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta be cognizant of a lot of different things. So there's that. Then there is, as in being a dad, I always tell people, like, if you want to learn how to make more money with less, doing less, go have kids.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're more expensive and you get less time.
Yeah.
And so what they have really taught me as far as manly is I look at every little detail of my time and say, okay, if I do this, I'm taking it away from time with my family.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's always a comparative, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody invited me to play golf next Saturday. I love golf. I really want to play.
Yeah.
But I was like, I got to thinking, okay, I'm going quail hunting Thursday and Friday, so I'm going to miss my kids Thursday night. And you know what? And then I got an event that Saturday night. So, I just need to say no to that because I really want to be present with them.
Yeah, 100%.
So they've taught me to do that, to be really conscious of my time. But then also is you learn how there's a lot of things that maybe your parents or people have taught you subconscious that you didn't realize, right?
Yeah.
So my 2-year-old will walk. Every morning we would go to my truck. We have to cross the street. Well, ever since he can walk and cross the street on his own, it's, hey, buddy, I don't care if we're late. I don't care if we're whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, stop.
Yeah.
Even though I know there's no cars in sight, look both ways, buddy.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this every day for a year. And we don't recognize that for us to have the ability to be safe and look both ways took a year of me programming that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so as I take it into business I recognize that I could tell you something once and expect it to stick. But the reality is that's unfair to you.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? It's like you're in a totally new world. And so I have to learn how to if you have multiple kids, you learn that everyone has their own personality. And what works for one doesn't work for the other.
Yeah.
And I think probably the biggest thing that I've learned through my kids and through work is how we train and mentor and help Sam looks differently than how we train and mentor Corey Brown or Matt. Does it make sense? Because it's, to me, totally different. There's not I always say we're not Burger King, one size fits all. We have to tailor it to you. And what it takes is us getting to know you and figuring out how you tick, what excites you, what makes you want to do what you do, and all those things. And know, because there's some agents that I push really hard. Some agents I don't push because I don't want to break them. Yeah, I know I can push Sam and he's not going to break. Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah. It's actually it's Josh way. It's going to push you to go further. But there's something I have to be sensitive to that if I push too hard, they're going to break on me. And there's nothing wrong with either no one is better or worse. It's more of we got to learn how to tailor it to how to help you grow.
100%. My dad told me a long time ago when I first took a management position, I think it was 8 years ago, he said, people will only rise to the expectations you put on them. He said, but you have to be open about the expectation. It's like, if you don't tell them, they don't know. And it's like, for some people, it's like, hey, here's this prize. Get there however you want. And then some people, you got to be like, hey, here's this prize. I'm going to put my hand on my back and we're both going to run. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of that idea. Well, kind of coming to a close, Zach, I really appreciate you being here, man. I'm going to hit you with 5 lightning questions. So now the goal is I'm going to read these questions off. You don't want to take a long time. I'll let you think.
You're going to read all 5 first or one by one?
One by one.
Okay.
All right. So you're taking your wife out to a fancy dinner. What's at the top of your list? Where are you taking her? And what are you ordering?
Like just normal every day?
Every day. Well, fancy, like your version of fancy. Not we're not talking about the old fancy when you're 18.
We're going to Oku in Alice Beach.
What is it?
Oku.
Oku?
Yeah, phenomenal restaurant.
Oku in Alice Beach.
It's amazing.
I've never been there.
Service, vibes, food, it's phenomenal.
What are you ordering?
So there's a spoon, hamachi spoons. Okay. Which is it's all very fish sushi related. Yeah. There's a pork belly buns that are out of this world. The edamame has salt. It's $11 and it's the best edamame. I mean, I can taste it in my mouth right now as I pull that edamame out. Then we like a yellowtail. It's ponzu sauce with serrano on top. Yeah. Another appetizer. And then we're probably just going to pick a few sushis and just do that. And we're really big on just, me and my wife love an experience. I'm not one to just go order an entree at a place. You're right. I want an experience of take 2 hours and show me an experience of everything. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
So Oku. Awesome. That's where we're going.
Best tacos in Bay County.
Oh man, that's
I mean, your parents are from Puerto Rico, so I feel like this is a good judge.
So I have an award to the best fish tacos. Like I love fish tacos, so I'm gonna go with those. Okay. And I've had them almost everywhere. But the hard part is you got to they have to have fresh fish. Okay, I like it blackened. And then I like one with a little bit of like a jalapeno cabbage slaw. Mm-hmm. But then you got to have a little bit of not like a chipotle mayo type sauce.
I got you.
Keep it a little bit wet, Yeah. And so I haven't found anybody who's phenomenal, but I will say this sounds kind of like, but I do love Los Angeles fish tacos. Yeah.
I've been really vibing with the Tacos Way Tacos recently.
Yeah.
Because they know me by name now.
I'll tell you what's really that people don't know too much at Juan Taco on the beach. Dude, Juan Taco's got a new location that's not Lake Town North, which is better. And honestly, I'll say this, like, if you're going for like some barbacoa or ground beef, I'm probably going Juan Taco.
Juan Taco.
Because it's him and
they do this weird thing with the mole sauce. They have a mole sauce that my buddy orders separate and pours it on there, which is probably against like culture. But dude.
And if you like barilla tacos, Christos.
Christos?
Yeah,
I have not had Christos.
Special. Yeah, Christos got some good tacos.
I need to try that.
Yeah.
What is the most Bay County thing you've ever seen in Walmart?
In Walmart?
Yeah.
It sounds terrible, but I don't shop at Walmart.
I don't either. I go to Target.
In Walmart, I couldn't say. I don't know. You walk in there.
We'll broaden it in Target or Aldi or wherever you.
Well, what's crazy is because of technology. Like I don't even step in those stores because
you get it delivered,
or pick up. So I haven't been to the store in a long
He's like,
time.
I haven't been to the store since like 2018.
Yeah, I haven't been in forever. But it honestly every time it just amazes me how people that will walk around with no shoes or shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very clearly those are the two things you have to have to buy something.
To walk into the store, like the fact that we have to have a sign on the storefront that says no shoes or shirt will deny service.
Yeah,
they're like didn't know that we had to
didn't know we had to be out there with it, but apparently
that's
here we
probably
are.
most Bay County. There's no shoes, no shirt walking into a public place.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And it's on this side. It's not like you're walking across like to Alvin's to get like a
it's not like on the beach where like it's okay. Like you're in town.
Like I would accept it if we were at Sharky's or like something Schooners or something like that. If Bay County had to have a spirit animal, all right. So you're picking the mascot or the spirit animal. Is it the sketchy chicken that always hangs out behind Circle K? Okay. Is it a pelican that looks like he pays rent? Or is it the lizard doing push-ups like he's training for a title fight?
I'm gonna take the middle. The pelican pay rent.
Pelican looks like he pays rent.
Yeah.
I
think Money and Beach would be the better
would be the mascot.
Yeah, it'd be the mascot. Yeah.
All right, last question.
Okay.
If I sold you a haunted house, Florida's law says I don't have to tell you and disclose that it's actually haunted.
Okay.
Who's your first call? Your lawyer or your pastor?
I mean, I don't believe in haunted houses, but I'd call a pastor before I call an attorney.
Yeah.
Billable hour. The pastor's free. The attorney's going to charge billable hours. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, the pastor's free. I ain't got to pay nothing.
The moment you pick up the phone to an attorney, you get the bill in the mail.
100%. All right, last one. And this is a bonus question. Favorite golf course and what's your handicap?
So my handicap is max. Okay, because I'm not good at golf. But if I had to pick a course here, I'm going to go to Camp Creek.
Camp Creek?
Yeah. It's private, but it's when you get on it, it's just amazing. There are a lot of great golf courses.
Yeah.
I play at Bay Point Country Club a lot.
Yeah.
But Camp Creek is just it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there. Zach, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, no, thank you.
If any of y'all who are watching need anything, please reach out to myself. Sam.Piercy with Think Real Estate or Zack Sanchez, the head man over here. I appreciate you sitting down with us, man. Giving us a little story behind the man behind Think Real Estate and
happy to do
what the brand is, man.
Thank you for allowing it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right.